Today, I want to talk about information overload in network marketing. This is something that I see happen with a lot of people. Unfortunately, it's something that can be prevented, which is the good news. So I'm just going to share my thoughts on the subject, and hopefully I can help at least one person watching this video avoid information overload or avoid giving a prospect or a team member information overload. The first thing I want to say is this: you don't need to know everything before you get started. Also, you don't need to know everything to be successful. You just need to know a little bit to get started. So information overload keeps a lot of people from doing anything. It leads to analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis, whatever you want to call it. It's basically where people have so much information, they're so consumed with learning the answer to thousands of different questions that they don't do anything to build their business. They're just so inundated with information that they never get started. So what I want to do in the rest of today's video, I want to talk about information overload for yourself, for your customers, and for your team members. And these are some practical tips to mitigate it or to eliminate it. So first of all, when it comes to yourself, you don't need to know how to do a lot of things in this business to be successful. Basically, what you need to learn how to do, make a contact list, generate some prospects, generate some leads, learn how to invite people to a third-party presentation. So you're not giving your own presentation, you're sharing a video or a webinar or a conference call. And then you learn how to follow up and close. That is the magic. That is really all you need to know to build a big business. So all the other things that you're trying to learn, like the 232 ingredients in a certain product, where the owner of the company went to college, what kind of car they drive, the address of the corporate headquarters, none of that is really all that important. Yeah, it's good to know information, but it's not going to lead to you building a big business. As long as you can generate leads, invite people, follow up, and learn how to close, you can build a monstrous network marketing business. So pace yourself and realize when you're new, you're going to learn as you earn. You don't need to learn everything before you earn. Remember that. So let's talk about information overload with your customers. This is probably the least frequent out of the three groups here: yourself, your team members, and your customers. When you are dealing with your customers, number one, you should not be explaining much to them in detail. You want to use third-party tools to do the explaining, the sifting, and sorting for you. If they have a lot of questions about product ingredients, you want to print off a product information page and give that to them, or share a corporate video about a certain product. The reason you want to do that is really twofold. Either, number one, you're so good at all that information that they're going to think you're kind of weird, or you're going to be so bad at explaining things that you mess it up. So use a third-party tool, let them process the information at their own pace. Number two is to value and respect their time. Everyone is busy. No one wants to sit through a 2-hour-long product presentation or a business presentation. So keep things short and sweet. Send them information in chunks. That's what I like to do. Maybe you send them an email with some information one day, a couple days later. Maybe you send them a little bit more through a Facebook message, and you're just planting seeds, giving them information as they need to know it. Number three, when you're talking with your customers, you want to be clear and concise with your language. There are a lot of acronyms in MLM, such as binary, PV, BV, weekly commissions, balancing legs, CV. Your customer doesn't care about any of that. Truthfully, they care about, will the products help them solve their problem? So follow those 3 tips to avoid giving your customer information overload. Let's talk now briefly about your team members. Give your team members simple assignments. This is magic. Most people joining MLM, they've never owned a business before. They've never done sales before. They've never done marketing before, and they've never done network marketing before. So you do not want to really overload them with info. What you want to do is you want to give them a simple assignment. So if you sign up Bob today, what you want to do with Bob is you want to say that, look, Bob, step number 1 is to make a list of 25 names of people who might want to purchase a product from you. So what you do is you give Bob step 1. You don't proceed to step 2 until he's completed step 1. So you're walking them through a series of steps of what you want them to do, rather than on that first night giving them 20 things they got to do to get their business started. That's going to overwhelm your new person. They'll probably never even get their business off the ground if you do that. Number 2, find out how they learn best. Everyone learns different. Some people are visual. Some people need to hear it. Some people need to watch it. Some people need to do all three. So ask your person, ask your team member, how do you process information the best? Do you like videos? Do you like text? Or do you like watching stuff or hearing stuff? And number three, let your people shadow you. The best way to think of yourself is kind of like a parent in this business. As a parent, if you have kids, you understand this. Your kids learn by watching you do all the things you do. Well, your team, the best way to teach them is to have them shadow you and to have them watch what you do. So you can bring them along to a presentation. You can leverage three-way calls with them. You can help them talk to their prospects. You can invite them to a local event that you're doing so they can kind of sit back in the background and they can watch you and learn as they go. And once they've done that 2 or 3 times, they're going to know enough about what they need to do it. And then at that point, you can kind of release them and gently push them out of the nest to where they can get started with the business. So information overload, avoid it at all cost. It doesn't have to affect you. You don't let it. Don't spend all your time reading, studying, and learning. You will learn more. Remember this one. You will learn more by doing something for an hour than you will about studying it for 20 hours. Let me just say that again. You'll learn more about something by doing it for an hour than you will about studying it for 20 hours. So get into activity mode, learn by doing, and realize you're going to look like a fool for a little bit in the business until you learn the basics. Everyone starts out that way. You don't have to be perfect to start, but you're never going to be good unless you do start. So with that, that concludes today's training. I hope it helped. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. That'll help our channel out a lot. Check out the links and the resources in the description box below this video. And please check out my other videos too. With that, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.